Hello everyone, my name is Igor Lebedev, I'm CTO of SONM. SONM is a decentralized fog computing platform, and my goal here is to tell you about what is fog computing without making it boring. So let's start. To understand what is fog computing, we first need to refresh our idea on what is cloud and what is on-premises. So let's start. When you have information systems, and any company is having information systems like ERP, CRM, websites, databases, you have to host them somewhere. And in this case, traditionally you have two choices. One of them is to buy your own equipment, this is called on-premises. And another one is to rent it somewhere, let's say in the cloud. So these are two options, and the second one, renting in the cloud, is only available in the last decade. Before that, you only had an option to have your own hardware. And these options are good, and there are benefits in both of them, but there are some limitations as well. If you talk about keeping your own hardware and running your systems on your hardware, on your servers, what are the limitations? First, you need to do a huge one-time investment. You have to pay for the servers instantly. And the second, you have to keep excessive capacity just in case of the peak loads. Because if you just buy the amount of servers required for a typical load and then the peak load comes, you will be not ready. So typically you buy more than you need just to be ready. And in this case, if you have your own hardware, you take the responsibility for maintaining it. You're responsible to plug it in, to set it up, or hire people who will administer it. And in case it fails, in case it goes down, you're responsible for your business losses. So this is about the on-premises. Now about the cloud. In case of the cloud, you're more flexible because cloud is operational expenditures compared to capital expenditures, which is your own hardware. And this is obviously better for you because it makes you more flexible. Everyone likes OpEx because this is flexible. But cloud has limitations as well. What are the limitations? First, you pay more in the long run because cloud providers, they charge you a premium margin. And second, this is not scaling well enough. I don't want to say anything bad about cloud scalability, but we need to understand that the amount of data and the computing power which we need today, it grows in such a way that even the cloud, which is a strong and scalable solution, may not be enough for all of our tasks. So cloud is just not infinite, but it's not endless. But the data we have and the amount of computing power we need for machine learning, for rendering, for different other aspects, for scientific calculations, it's almost endless and it's growing very fast. So in this case, we may come to a conclusion and we may adopt that the cloud is scalable enough to handle everything we have. This is the point. So traditionally, you had two options. And at some time ago, when people started to move to cloud, this gave you a benefit because you don't need to make a one-time investment anymore. You have to move to OpEx, which is just pay-as-you-go option. This is more flexible to you. But now everyone is using this. So this is not more a competitive advantage because everyone is using this. So what if you had the third option in this dilemma? The third option is if you could use the computers around you, the computers which stay at home of people. Let's say, think about computers which everyone has at their homes. Think about computers which are standing still in the offices. Think about any idle servers. Think about mining rigs. You've heard about mining rigs who are doing crypto mining. Combine them all together and you will have billions of computers which are not currently used in the cloud computing. And this altogether is fog computing. So fog computing is the third choice you have in the dilemma of on-premises or cloud computing. So I would like to introduce you to a brand new layer of computing power which was hiding from you for the last years. You probably didn't know that it exists and that it may help you. So the mining equipment. Probably most of you heard about the mining because everyone has a friend who is doing Ethereum mining or at least is buying Bitcoin. Everyone heard about this. But what it is about, it is that people are purchasing GPUs and computers, just a typical regular computers to do crypto mining. And currently, if you would like to buy a GPU for your business or for your home, you will see that the prices are very high in the shops everywhere on the planet because everything is sold out. The prices are 2 or 3 times higher because this is such a huge trend. purchasing GPUs for mining, that everything is sold out. And that all GPUs used for crypto mining, combine it all together, their combined power is greater than the top 10 or maybe top 100 of world's greatest supercomputers. This is really a huge computing power, and it may help you with machine learning, it may help you with much of your tasks. So we say that there are mining equipment, and the situation is that the profitability of running mining, it decreases over time. So people running mining equipment now are looking for additional sources of income, and they would like to add their capacity to solve business tasks. So on the other one, on one side we have business which has a choice of cloud or on premises of fog computing, and on the other side we have a lot of mining equipment which is currently all over the planet. It's everywhere. You know, here are people from Philippines, from Malaysia, and from a lot of island countries which have poor connection with mainland, and you understand that the data centers which are available on the mainland and in selected countries, they may not be available on some locations. But this equipment is everywhere. It's any town it may be really everywhere, at any home. So this may help you to solve your tasks where they are. So I'm talking about fog computing. Fog computing is a software architecture that allows you to solve your tasks right at where you are, right at where your data is, at your company, near your cameras, near your IoT devices, near your autonomous cars, near your smart cities, near your offices. This is it. So what is SONM? We can now come to idea what is SONM. SONM is a decentralized marketplace and a fog computing platform. We combine these two groups of people, the suppliers and the consumers. Consumers are people who currently use cloud computing services. These are companies and individuals who do a lot of things in the software development or in running software. It could be, as I said, machine learning, scientific calculations, rendering, content delivery. It could be application hosting, game service, and many, many more cases. Just the common things you do with the cloud. Basically, think about all of your computing system in your office. Everything you know could be run on SONM. So on the other side, we have suppliers with computers at home. This is like Airbnb, but for computers. Imagine if you could turn all that computers the same way that Uber turned free cars into taxis. That may help you. So to do this, we introduce you a fog computing platform of SONM. It is a decentralized system internally using some blockchain magic, which helps you to connect with people who has their computers at home. So you may choose one of the sides. Either you have the free computing power, your free computers, and you may rent them out for other people, or if you're a company running some systems, you may gain access to these computing powers and make benefit of it for your business. It may help you to reduce costs, it may help you to scale well, it may help you to find a computer near where you work or near where you live, in the location where you require this. So this is the idea about SONM. Of course, we have some software architecture behind this. I wanted to give you a brief understanding of what's going on. Again, the system is completely decentralized. It's working similar like BitTorrent or Bitcoin in a way that we don't have our own server. SONM is a software that it's open source software. You just download it and use it. And all the people using it all together combined, this is SONM service working somewhere on the internet, decentralized way. Internally, we have Ethereum blockchain, we have master nodes, we have internal cryptocurrency, but on the customer side and on the supplier side, this is looking like a cloud services. This is about our architecture. Basically, I told you what I wanted to. If someone has questions, I am eager to answer. Or, yes, sure. Security is a concern. Of course, if we use computers at home of people, this is hard to implement security. And actually, this is one of the biggest problems. But what we say here, first, we work on the trusted platform hardware solution using Intel trusted platform model, TXT, secure boot. We're currently developing a solution to make it hardware compliant. Second, most of the tasks, maybe not most of them, but some of them, they don't require privacy. Let's say if you are training with TensorFlow, you may just anonymize your data and just do training. And if it helps you to cut the costs 5 times, probably you would consider doing it anonymically. For some websites, for content delivery, let's say content delivery networks, you don't really need privacy if you can cut the costs multiple times. Let's say if your content delivery network is serving videos or images anywhere they're public on the internet, you just need to serve them locally and fast. So in this case, privacy also may not be a concern. And of course, just for your understanding, fog computing as it is now, it is not a complete replacement for the cloud. It's not like a cloud killer, but it's an additional architecture that adds you another option. If your company is having hundreds of information systems, you don't move mission-critical databases, mission-critical systems to SONM. This is not what it is for. But if you have secondary system, auxiliary system, which you have, and you probably don't want to pay huge costs for them. So in that case, you may migrate them to SONM and save your costs. This is the idea. Anyone else? Tell something about blockchain magic we have internally. Blockchain is a complicated technology because it has poor scalability, so we have to do a lot of efforts to make it scale well, using our sidechain and additional efforts. Anyone else? How many people are working in a company who has a lot of information systems? Come on, most of you work. Most of you work in the office, right? So you have CRM systems, you have like web systems. Most of the things could be run on SONM. Because currently they work in the cloud, but they could be offloaded to some computing for the good of the company. So, no more questions? Yep. Sorry? Oh yeah, how many suppliers do we have now? We launched into production mode 2 weeks ago. So at this moment we have around hundreds of suppliers, but we are fastly growing because the system has just launched. So we currently attract and promote people to join us. Well, we expect that if we be able to connect 10% of the Ethereum hash rate, which is GPUs, that would be tens of thousands computers combined into the network. And this is only Ethereum. And the reason why they join us is that currently they are losing their profitability because the mining profitability drops, and they are looking for what to do next. Okay, thank you. My time is up. I was glad to tell you about what we do.